Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, got a cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milk-shaped wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever go to, every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
You should have never been a fad. The black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
Special guest in the studio, Sergio.
Long time no see.
It's me. I'm back.
Welcome.
It's been a minute.
We needed help with what's happening here today. For anyone who's listening, we have 15 Oktober and Fest beers going on.
I'm proud of you, Brad. It spans the gamut. Chicago, suburbs, and even an out-of-state special guest.
Right, and that's the perfect because not that Sergio's from Minnesota, but he spends a lot of time there.
Oh, yeah?
I do. I have family there.
Like
My
home away
wife's
from
from Minnesota.
Okay.
I've been to Surly, back at their old brewery. Spent a lot of time with Surly.
So I'm excited. We did this last year. I think we had 10, maybe, and Hopewell came out ahead.
Engrain, I think was the name of theirs.
Right.
Shockingly delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have them this time. We have a lot of, I think, new ones and a couple repeats. There is a Riverlands here. We had Riverlands last year, and this is a can from last year. So we're gonna judge that one lightly.
That's funny.
Yeah. Take it easy on them.
Should we do a lightning round of all the breweries here?
All right, run down for us.
All right, here we go. Cruz Blanca, Riverlands, Spiteful, Half Acre, Alarmist, Workforce, Rev, Noon Whistle, Double Clutch, Metro, Temperance, Double Clutch again, Surly, Distill, and Goose Island.
Right. There's two double clutch because they have a Fest and a Marzen, so we might be able to just pull the Fest out of I think this Noon Whistle is also a Fest beer. We might be able to take them out of the rankings because most of these are Marzens.
Cheers to them for doing both. No one does both. Like this Noon Whistle, they got a Fest beer. They didn't do a Marzen. So
Maybe that's all I saw.
see.
What do you have any hopes or bets you want to place? Either of you guys.
We'll let Sergio go first.
Me? Okay.
Well, if you were just
He's got that radio voice too, man. I love
If you were in
it.
the store and you saw this lineup, what would be the one you're gonna pick up? Just is it the one you can believe in, or it's the one you think is gonna be the best?
I'm just completely biased to where I live in the city.
Okay.
So I'm further north in the suburbs, so I go to Double Clutch a lot and Half Acre a lot. So those are the ones and Spiteful. So those are the ones I have the most experience with.
Okay.
And if I'm looking for something, I know what I'm getting. It's going to be those. But there's a lot of good stuff here. I would try any of these.
We got some pretzels to go with. We got pretzels with your Marzens.
Now I'm that guy crunching on fucking audio, yeah.
Just how all the TikTokers do it. They just eat and talk to the camera. Nick, what would you pick? I think we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
We maybe thought about some of our favorites.
I'm along for the ride. I'd have high hopes for the Spiteful one because it was on its own. It was really good.
Yeah.
But then I'm curious about. I'm excited to just see where it takes us because we didn't have any expectations for Hopewell last year.
That's right.
So I like having them all in a row like this. Then that way we can pick apart nuances. It should be fun. Yeah.
I think I said I'm excited for this Distill one. I think it could be a winner just because it has the German hat.
It was a very,
Big.
very handsome
That makes
can.
me think it's the most German out of all of these.
And I gotta be honest with you,
Goose
bro.
has a pretzel.
Yeah, but it's like a fun American pretzel.
It's a cartoon pretzel. Germans don't have any humor. Yeah.
Okay, so right now we have them all lined up. We got to get them out of the way. I think last year we started with Metro, and we used Metro as our space.
Yes,
right.
kind of like our control. Like,
Yeah, because they should make the best, or it should be the most on style. Because this is all subjective. Because we could be in a different mood, different feeling.
Yeah.
But we're gonna start here. And I said, I think the other week, I opened a can of this, or we did on the show.
That's right.
We didn't like it.
Oh.
The draft, good.
And
Miss it.
they're the only ones that throw a proper of the places we went. They were the only one that threw a proper bash. Okay. Everyone else just had Oktoberfest on tap.
Right.
Fucking Metro had a party.
Oh yeah, I missed it this year.
It was quite nice. The only reason I got a beer in time was because I walked into this giant room that was full of people, and I looked at the register and I saw a dude in fucking lederhosen, and it was Brad Chmielewski. And thankfully,
Do you need a Stein?
thankfully he ordered me a fucking Stein. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
So yeah, we're starting with the Metro Afterburner. If you didn't listen to the episode last year, we probably won't talk about events or too much about the places we've been to. It's all about these beers on this episode. And right off the bag, that copper, it's got this like copper taste going on.
It's like more of an aftertaste than I would like, right? Like I think that's what we were saying before. I think last time we had it, we were saying, "Yo, this kind of lean sweet." I don't think I'm getting that today.
Not getting a sweet. I'm almost maybe that copper is like the malts got roasted a little too much.
Or
Like
it's
you put your burrito in for 1.2 minutes and it exploded, where
my
it just needed 1.10.
oh my god.
Did that kind of thing.
Yeah. I do get a little more sharpness. I get sharpness. I don't know if it's, I feel like I'm going to say it. I'm going to attribute it to a hop bite, but it could be an over roasting. Whatever the culprit is, it's sharp at the end. And I don't know if I want to think about this that much. And that was my issue.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
Definitely got an interesting flavor in there. I won't call it an off flavor, but
Right. It's just like more volume on that flavor.
yeah,
Okay.
something stands out.
So I don't think it's going to be at the top this year. I think it's going to be lower.
It's a good control beer though still,
So we're waiting on Nick. So Sergio and I already have opened a few cans. So let's go with one we've opened.
You guys can't see. They've opened most of the cans.
They heard that a Metro one get opened. So Alarmist,
Okay.
which we went to for their Oktoberfest party.
They just tapped Oktoberfest, man.
Yeah.
Everybody just tapped October. Chicagoland breweries need to knock this shit off.
They got to try.
Come on. I mean,
Wait, you want them to knock this off?
no, the whole we're having an Oktoberfest party and then you get there and it's not really a party.
Oh, it's just a couple flags and it's one thing on tap.
You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, it's a party.
The bartender's wearing like one of the hats.
Yeah. I want to fucking blow it out, man.
Yeah, okay.
Just look no further than Metropolitan. They took care of business. We need more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or do we? Because we almost didn't make it.
We can't.
We can't be trusted. We almost, side note, we can't be trusted. So Maeve came along this year for the Oktoberfest crawl, and she was not there 2 years ago.
Yeah. And
So
Nick and I almost died.
it's because we can't be trusted.
Okay.
But
So wait, was made there as a controlling faction?
I think she
Supervisor?
just helps.
Supervisor.
Having anyone else with you helps basically be like, you guys should not do that, like unless they're crazier than you. And Maeve is not crazier than us, so she's like, let's just have one.
a voice of reason, if you will.
Okay. That's usually not me.
Okay, that's why you weren't invited.
Yeah. That's why I'm not invited in most places.
Like, who told Sergio we were here? God damn it.
I just showed up today. I just knocked on the door. It's like, hey, Brad, what you doing?
So the Alarmist one, it comes off a little lacking in the body to me, maybe.
Yeah. It's weird because it's fuller, right? But it does. I don't know if
Fuller,
it
yeah.
like I don't know, rounder, maybe more
Softer?
Yeah, maybe more carbonated. But to your point, it doesn't necessarily have more flavor with the fullness. Yeah.
The mouthfeel feels more robust to me.
Yes.
But I taste more sweetness, too.
Okay.
All right, so is it above or below Metro.
I'm going above.
I like it a little bit more than Metro.
Okay. That could have went either way on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Metro's
It was
already-
close. It was close.
All right. Workforce. Out in Plainfield, we did like a little mini review of this one.
Okay.
So.
This is Worktoberfest. You better work. That's all I think about is fucking RuPaul when I see work spelled like that.
Oh, really? Is that how RuPaul spells it?
I mean, I feel like that's how she says it.
Okay.
But
And then Sergio and I dived into this, and we had this a couple weeks ago. I really like this one.
that's a doozy, man.
I think.
That's a sweet spot. A little bit of the mouthfeel that like alarmist, which I like, but then you just get everything all at once. It kind of cascades in your mouth, you know,
Yeah.
like just all the flavors, and then we're done.
Right.
It's nicely balanced.
Yeah,
You know, like
I should have just said that.
It's a beer you want to. It's like we often talk about this when we're talking about Oktoberfest. I want to have the liter, and not think about drinking the liter, and then want another liter.
Yeah.
And that's what this workforce is doing.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah,
give me another one.
because you're going to
Just goes
0.5.
down.
0.5 is big. Full liter is even bigger. You don't want to be wondering what it is that's sticking out.
Yeah.
You just want it all at once.
So it's going top, I think, right?
I think so too. German style Marzen. These are all Marzens, by the way.
Right. We're gonna plow through these and be nice and tipsy. All right. Sergio's favorite, Lagertown.
Definitely the most
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
the most handsome of all the cans.
Yeah.
Non-blue, not a blue. Oh, there's a little blue, but
Little cold steel blue there, just a little bit.
yeah, where everyone else leans hard into the checker blue.
Yeah.
There's knights on there and stuff.
And there's Al Nick.
There's a story going on. There's a
Right.
story.
This doesn't make me think of Germany. This makes me think of like England. Or...
Yeah, that looks English, but you know.
You know, is Half-Acre ever going to explain this fucking owl with the tentacles? Are they ever going to explain this to us?
It's art.
There it is.
Yeah, we left Lagertown off last year.
No. Lagertown stepped it up over the years, though. I remember Lagertown was forgettable for a while, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. You were like, man, Lagertown's great.
Man, it's just sweet.
Well, it's a little sweeter than the Workforce. Actually, it's a little sweeter than all of them.
Light-bodied.
It's still good, though.
So good.
I mean, I like it. I don't know where it goes.
It doesn't make me as happy as like some of the few of the others here.
It's very leveled in the way that Workforce was, though.
Yeah.
It yeah, in that, you know, it hits you and it moves on, but
Yeah.
it does it too quickly.
Okay.
You know,
It's like
not,
thin.
Yeah, it almost feels like a little thin, a little bit less complicated. I don't know.
Yeah.
More lager than town.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, still great beer,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and there is something to be said about like short finish. That's what we're talking. That's what we're saying, right? Like it's short. It's not that it's bad or it's just you wish it was longer.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it feels like the least Oktoberfest of the three we've now had. To me, like it feels like a good malty lager, but it doesn't have that like I don't know some of the roast that Oktoberfest should have.
Well, that's true. I feel like it's a tight race, though. I feel like it's not too far off the pace of these other three.
Okay,
But
I want to put it either on par or under Metro. Would be my.
I don't think it's better than Workforce.
No,
No.
better than Alarmist.
Um.
So I'm saying I'm putting it down here, but
Okay.
I could be overruled on this.
I think the Alarmist had a little more going on. Alarmist had a little more to say than this one did. This one was a little more middle of the road as far as
Maybe-
flavors.
Put it ahead of Metro because Metro is like the can is just so disappointing.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, just right above Metro, but under Alarmist. Okay.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Okay.
They're like,
Where'd you buy that can? Maybe it's like just a weird little
I
batch
bought it
or
from the
something.
brewery.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I feel like the Metro one just like upsets me so much because it's so good at the brewery when you're having it, and something happened with the packaging, which is terrible for them moving forward, especially as they're having trouble with their place, and if the beer's not good in package, you're definitely not moving product.
Yeah.
So, all right. We got the Spiteful open. So next door to Half Acre.
This is the only one that's got a sausage on the can.
And Sergio and I were just there for their official Oktoberfest party.
Oh, I was
It was packed.
no. At Spiteful, they've got sidewalk seating, and then the indoor seating with the very cool garage doors.
Yep.
And then the brewery space.
It
And
also
they were
felt
slinging sausages.
Slinging sausages, and not
Where were they
didn't have
slinging?
one.
Where were they slinging the sausage?
unrelated to the sausage. It felt like it was a very gay Oktoberfest. Like there was a lot of gay men there.
Well, it's at Andersonville and
It's Andersonville at
so
Jay's.
just felt, I was like more so than other Oktoberfests that I've been to.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I would
Which
attribute
they're all
it to.
full of lots of sausages and drunk men. So-
Yeah. Right. I would attribute it to geography.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be my guess.
I was just like, I didn't know if there was like, when we were there, something related to some sort of pride thing or something else happening. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I wonder if there was something going on.
But it was packed and it was a good time. Sausages were great.
Good for them. They're the exact opposite of Half Acre, and that's why I love that they're like next door to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Spice here.
Spicy.
I feel like it's a little more. I noticed the carbonation more in this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
It's definitely way different than the Lagertown. I don't know if that's better or worse. Like
that would be the call, right?
Right.
Is it in front or after Lagertown?
can I delight it more?
Right. At this point, because they're all good beers, which one just kind of effortlessly just says, "Okay, I'll have another one." I don't know if this one does it more than the Lagertown one does, but maybe even more than the. I don't even know if it does it more than the Metro one. Today is so weird having them in a row.
Yeah.
Like having the solo, I was super happy with it. But having them in, and that's why we do it.
I
Having
know.
them in a row.
This was our first Oktoberfest beer in our episodes, and we're like, this is a great Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, Spiteful beers are often pretty good. They have some outliers where we're like, that wasn't great, but they have some great hits. And this was like, oh, that's a hit from
Yeah.
Spiteful.
Yeah, and see, for me, this one's hitting the spot right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the lineup and how we're doing it, definitely affects our palates. I don't know. Something's hitting right for me on this taste.
Where would you put it? Was it better than your Lagertown? Your hero?
I would put it above Lagertown.
Lagertown? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. For me, I would. But this is a 3.
I think I need to. I'm
Person
gonna
vote.
try this Alarmist again to
Okay.
see if it was.
Okay.
Oh, it's definitely Alarmist is darker.
And they're both Marzens, right? Yeah.
Yeah, these fucking Americans,
That's a
man.
good point. That Spiteful is pretty light colored for a Marzen.
Yeah. Ooh,
Maybe that crispness is what is just catching me.
that's like dead on. I think it's a little better than Alarmist.
Yeah. It's more in line with a sessionable beer. The Alarmist is
Yeah.
good. It's like, I don't know, more dense, maybe is the word I'm trying to use. There's something about it where it's just more, it kind of saturates you a little bit more than the Spiteful. And if we're just isolating those two, I would say that's where the Spiteful is probably a little bit better. It's more sessionable,
Yeah.
you know?
I know it's not better than that Workforce, but
Yeah, that workforce got to the spot. I could go either way on either side. I think if it was me, I'm probably pushing the Spiteful
I think so,
higher up
yeah.
the line. But they're both.
Spiteful reminds me of like Lowenbrow or some shit. Like a European. It feels like a European pale that I've had.
Okay. I think it also makes me just feel like it's fall. Like, I get everything about that with like drinking it and leaves are falling. I don't know. You're just eating a sausage. Could be the sausage on the can, and you're just like in the moment of like, oh, winter's coming. Kind of like this is it. This is as good as it gets until spring.
Right.
Oh, geez.
So.
No, I'm here for it.
All right, so I think we reset for a minute with a fest beer.
Nice.
Right.
Oh, so
Put that one way at the top.
side note, I went to a double clutch this week.
Okay.
Didn't really take any pics or anything because they didn't have the Roush beer that I wanted.
Oh.
I went for the Roush beer and it was out. Oh, but I'm at the bar and I'm just reading about the additional tax.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So their argument is that restaurants, because there's this, what do you call it, Brad? Where so they charge this universal fee. It's not a tip, and it's an additional tax.
Oh.
And it's
And
for
theirs was health insurance and 401k,
right. So they call it
which
out.
are both tax deductible by the business.
Right. So they call this out on their bill. So it's this itemized thing, and they charge you more for it.
Yeah.
And so they have a whole thing. You click a PDF, and it's this whole thing about why they do it. And on the thing, it says, well, in most scenarios, restaurants are a break-even proposition. For every $1 you make, 95 cents goes back out the window, or back out the door. Yeah. So that's part of the reason why we do this. And then the number one question people ask is, why don't you just bake it into the? That's the question I ask. That's the question we ask. Why don't you just up the price? And their argument was that, well, if you bake it into the price, in some scenarios, your landlord will charge you rent based on your gross income. So if you bake it into the cost of the price, that means your rent could go up. And they didn't say that they were the way it was worded. It didn't say that was their scenario, but it said in most cases that's why you wouldn't do that.
I feel like if you're a good enough of a business person to know that your landlord might do that to you, you will be able to fight that, right? Like, that's a very specific thing. I don't know.
Right.
Twisted Hippo had their prices just higher.
Yeah.
Right? Like
And
they
you
just
had to pay no tax on anything.
yeah, there was no and
Even
there was
Haymarket
no
and-
tipping.
Michigan does that.
Yeah.
Like no tips.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Just I will happily pay more for something so that people have a living wage. I don't want to see it line itemed.
I am the same way.
Line item it after the fact. I don't care. Do whatever your accounting
And
needs
I
to
don't
do, but don't do that.
I think the landlord would raise prices because as someone who did have a business storefront and it only was a 2-year lease,
Yeah.
most businesses are 5 to 10-year leases. That's not getting raised unless it's like we do it 2% each year. Or
And
it's
that's
like,
already in the contract.
So it's not like you won the lottery. You got to pay more for rent, kind of thing.
Yeah. I was surprised that I brought it up because we're drinking double clutch, but I was also very surprised at the explanation.
Yeah.
PDF explanation saying, well, if we bake it into the price, then we have to pay more rent. And I'm like, is
We're
this
going to have to sell one of our expensive cars.
Yeah.
you motherfuckers literally turned a vintage car garage into a brewery.
Yeah.
It was funny. That's where I brought it up.
Which I will say, I really like this.
Yeah, it's great.
I love fest beers.
And I'm upset about some of these line items because then I don't often go to the places again because I'm like, oh, screw that place. I'd rather go support someone and all my money go to the server rather than it's not guaranteed that money is going back to health insurance and 401k. It's just going into the business.
Yeah.
They don't have to do
Yeah,
anything.
there's no
with it.
assurances of what they have to pay their
Right.
employees. And
So likely when I'm tipping, that's all should go to the person.
Yeah.
So.
if it's cash.
Yeah, but most of us don't have cash. I can't guarantee any of this, but I'd rather the idea of the tip is supposed to go to this and this additional charge, like a sales tax. I don't know what it's get used for.
Yeah.
So the double clutch thing, it hurts me a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the beer is so good there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went for the smoke beer and they didn't have it. I was kind of bummed.
Okay, but we have to put this as an outlier because
It's not a Marzen.
it's not a Marzen, and it would be at the top because it's just easy drinking and very enjoyable.
It's crisp.
Should we go then other double clutch? We'll go with their Marzen.
They're Marzen.
Let's do it.
Now that we've reset for a moment, and we're talking double clutch,
Should we talk about the fees again?
the fees. Nick and I talk about the fees
'Cause,
all the time.
Because there's a few people that do it.
I'm gonna go to Vichy. I'm gonna go to Vichy when I come back from Germany because I want this burger, and the Chicago Food Reddit ranked the chicken sandwich as one of the best chicken sandwiches.
Really? At Bishi?
Yeah.
Have you not been to Bishi's?
I've been to Vichy's pre-pandemic.
You just haven't had the chicken sandwich.
And this was pre-pandemic. They also had that fee on there, and I was pissed.
Who's the place that does wine? Middlebrow. I was thinking Middlebrow. Middlebrow does it.
Oh yeah,
Same thing.
I don't go to Middleborough. I'll go to
Because of the thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the beer is not good.
It's all right.
Pizza's good.
I got wine too. I like wine.
But they don't like beer, and they
Breakfast.
make wine, and they.
It's one of the few places, since they have a breakfast menu, it's only one of the few places you can like be on a bike ride in the morning and 10 a.m. you can go drink beer if that's your thing. Because it's breakfast menu. Yeah.
It's not a brewery, but have you been to the Green Post?
No, the Green Post. What's the Green Post?
On like Lawrence and Rockwell, maybe?
No.
It's an English pub that opened up in Lincoln Square. They do mornings. I've definitely been there for a 9 a.m. soccer match. And they're not, they have a good tap list. They didn't have a morning bartender, so it's not like going to AJ Hudson's or something to watch a soccer match and you're going to be taken care of with the beer. But you can still get a pretty good beer and an English experience at this place. And the food's good.
I don't mind it.
Delicious.
10 a.m. beer? I don't mind it.
Yeah.
No.
10 a.m.
I just want the option.
It's too late.
Yeah,
That's
10 a.m. Yeah, that's what I'm
lunchtime
talking
at
about
this
too. Already mowed the grass by then. I've had breakfast and lawn mowing beer
Have
by
my Bloody
then.
Mary.
Yeah.
This was great.
Solid beer, man.
double
Solid
clutch.
fucking beer. I got no complaints about this beer.
That's good.
Better than Workforce. I don't think it's better than Workforce.
I'm gonna have to try the Workforce.
I gotta try
'cause
the
it's one clear
Yeah,
cut for me.
because it's...
We gotta be careful. We don't.
Brad, this double clutch is good ass beer, man.
Yeah,
No, the Workforce.
the Workforce.
It's more pillowy, softer. They're very close, but the Workforce is giving me just like delightfulness.
Yeah, I can enjoy...
You feel happy?
Yeah, I feel happy. It's a lot of. I feel like when we do this for Oktoberfest and Irish Reds, it's about what makes you the most happy while you're drinking it.
I
And
think
that's
that-
kind of, I think, anything you consume. What are you enjoying the most while it's not like, oh, that made me think about, these berries that they picked. They shook off the trees and
The mulberry?
the mulberries. That goose shook off the
You
tree.
know, Sergio, we laid down a blanket on the Kankakee River, and we climbed those trees, and we shook those trees for their mulberries.
It takes you there.
Fucking Brett Porter, man. Brett Porter is
I just want
an all-time
what
fucking
delights
crazy.
me the most as I'm drinking it.
Yeah. The whole show's built on that. It's like what made us feel good.
Right.
Well,
Oh,
you
the
know.
beer pass, yeah.
Yeah, the whole show's built on that. So,
So
I mean,
that's why
I think you're
Workforce
right.
is still winning.
I'm gonna go with you on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we stay Evanston then? We got Temperance. Where's the sketchbook?
I don't think Sketchbook's up here,
I
man.
haven't seen a sketchbook today.
I lost the sketchbook. I think we drank the sketchbook. I didn't save a can. Shit.
Okay.
Okay, so there's no sketchbook. We did sketchbook last week. I can go C.
Okay. It's your call, man.
You guys open this.
All right.
Talk about Temperance. Let me check the fridge real quick.
Sergio, where are you these days, man? What neighborhood or what village are you in these days?
I'm in Peterson Park, which is north side of the city, kind of a couple miles northwest of Lincoln Square.
Okay.
It's a nice little quiet neighborhood out by the Chicago River, north branch of the Chicago River.
Nice.
So it's great. I can bike a lot of places. I
Yeah.
can bike to the studio in Ravenswood. It's quiet, got space. It's nice.
Yeah. A lot of times I bike from Avondale up to Rogers Park, and I take that northwest side route. So I know exactly what you mean.
Yep.
I think a lot of people are misconstrued about, now we're talking Chicago shit, but there are some suburban style houses in the city, and then there are certain sections of neighborhoods that don't really feel like what you think the city should feel like.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite features of this town, and it's one of those features that we don't talk about enough.
And that's where kind of we're at. We're in a very quiet, like a lot of people might think we're a suburb.
Right.
Because it's a lot of tree-lined streets, single-family homes.
773.
And it's pleasant up there.
Brad's back.
I must have drank the sketchbook.
Okay.
It was that good?
It was good. Sean Curry's gonna definitely be upset at us. I don't think it was as good as the double clutch and the workforce, but it was good. It was like spiteful, alarmist. I think it was a little better than this temperance one that we're about to drink.
Temperance is a little fragrant, like a little perfumey, more so than the others.
Oh yeah. That's weird.
It's the one that's bringing the toastiness. The toasted malt is coming out more than in all of these other ones in this temperance one.
It's kind of like a flatter mouthfeel. Is that from that toasty malt?
I think it's more. I was thinking more of the perfume and more of that kind of cereal note.
Oh, yeah.
More like that.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's nice. It definitely stands out.
But I don't know.
But where does it sit on the happiness scale?
That's what I'm looking at.
Even though I dig that toasty note.
I think it's under Lager Town, above Metro, for me. That's where I would put it.
You put it above Metro. Well, it's
There's some not trying to that Metro can just has this coppery flavor that I don't necessarily want out of my Oktoberfest. And the temperance isn't bad, but it's not maybe what I want for my Oktoberfest.
So you'd rather have the toast of temperance over the bitter finish of the Metro?
Yeah, of this can, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't call it bitter finish on this thing, but...
And I'm open to try. I was actually going to try a little bit more of it because I'm actually trying to place what is it about the Metro that I'm
not
trying
working here.
Or is just more. What is it about the Metro that's noticeable, right? Like we keep saying how it's more thoughtful than years past. We keep saying that. I'm like, well, what is it about it?
I think it's a packaging problem. I don't think it's this beer. I think it's a packaging problem.
It tastes metallic.
Yeah, and I
I'm
don't.
gonna have to go back to it, but that's what I remembered.
Yeah, it's a packaging problem. It's not right, and that's super rough for them because they gotta be pumping out a lot of beer, and people are taking beer home.
That's one of the largest breweries in the city. When you just think
pretty
about
big,
it,
yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
as
still there.
It's not as bad as we drink more and you are numb to these flavors, but
It comes. I think you mentioned it was an aftertaste. It comes
Right.
after you take the sip. It just hits you kind of on the back and sides of the tongue.
Yeah, the toastiness of the temperance, I think, might be a little more appreciated today. And that's all this is, because even if you go to a JBF or any of these award shows, it was, what did the beer taste like that day?
yeah.
So, didn't take that for what it's worth. But today, the temperance.
Are we okay with temperance being towards the bottom, or do you guys think it was better than Lagertown or Alarmist?
I'm okay with it, not because it's
the pretzel.
it's hard to rank these as bottom to top, but it definitely tasted different than some of the other ones, and because of that, it's hard to kind of compare fully with all of them, right? It had a different type of appeal and mouthfeel, and it's still good, but because the other ones are more hitting kind of that style, maybe what I expected, I think it's fair to do that.
All right. So let's go macro. Oktoberfest.
1800 West Fulton. Hello.
We got the goose. I really do love this pretzel guy on this can.
You love it more than the fucking Aunt Annie's pretzel on the back of the Temperance there?
I think
do like
that's
that.
that's the main thing winning for this goose one before I even try it. But actually, I did have one about 3 hours ago at work, so I already had one of these today.
Do you guys do we have a subsidiary at the day job that they have a full keg at work every day. You guys do kegs down there?
We do third Thursday happy hours. So this week it was Oktoberfest themed.
Nice.
So we had sausages and Oktoberfest, but there's like wine and seltzers and stuff.
Wow.
No. So no keg all the time.
Fair enough.
Now we've had this a couple times at 312 Block Party, because 312 Block Party happens during Oktoberfest.
Not a bad party.
Not a bad party, but Oktoberfest is probably the worst beer to drink at the Block Party.
Yeah.
All the other options you have, it is by far. I've had it, and I am pissed that I get it, because I'm like, why did I get it?
Only thing.
There's so many, like that Pilsner is great. The Pocket Pills.
Pocket pills.
is great.
I have a nice photo that I need to post. Pocket pills.
Yeah.
Only thing worse
If it
than
just 312.
Goose Oktoberfest is the
Virtue cider.
on tour. No, not
Oh,
Virtue Cider.
on tour.
The on tour Oktoberfest.
Yeah, that's bad too.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't had
Because
that.
it's part of the what is it? What do they call that section of town?
The brewing district.
Chicago Brewing District. Yeah. So they have a little tent for all the breweries near Goose. This isn't bad today.
Not bad.
It's tempered. It's in check.
It's boring.
I was trying to be
Right? There's like
what's the
Uncomplicated.
I was
Brad.
trying
Let's
to
give
be
you some
nice.
power
just keep your
lessons.
invite up for your Bourbon County tasting.
some circles would say boring, sure, or just
But there's nothing wrong with that. You could open that up probably any time and be like, okay.
it's better than it was last year.
Yeah, last year was.
I'll say that it's better, and I think they probably know too.
That's what's hard about something like this, though, right? Because really, all of these beers are like our babies, right?
Sergio, we are here to. We're not here to make friends.
I love all beer.
We gotta tell the people. We gotta tell the people which one was better than the other one.
We don't work for any of these people. We're here to tell people what they need to hear.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
tell you that Goose Oktoberfest ain't bad today. It's not bad. Let me get another sip. It's not
I
bad.
kind of want to put it above Temperance, below Lagertown. Maybe even above Lagertown.
I don't think it's bad, but I think I'm feeling the same thing that I felt with the Temperance.
Yeah.
That that end of the
This
table.
group is just better.
It has something that's all kind of working in the similar vein for that style, and these two are distinct. The Temperance and the Goose are distinct in how they decided to make this Marzen. And I'm not sure if it's working as well for me in this setting right now, like tasting all these different beers.
I almost think this Lagertown is like this
The cutoff, like
dividing line, because
Yeah.
this is like a almost a lighter, less full body, slightly sweeter, kind of like you got to be exceptionally good to go over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird that that's sitting in them, or like the wall. You got to get over
Group A and Group B. Group B is starting to form itself.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this, for me, I put this above Temperance just because I find it less objectionable. I'd rather, if I had the choice, I might pick up the Goose one. Just maybe it's the pretzel, maybe it's the 12-ounce can, but
The Goose one is more drinkable today.
yeah, maybe it's the fact
Like,
Temperance wouldn't give us a
If
mug.
that plays into it.
Bitter at
And
that.
then, they got this Aunt Annie's pretzel on the back of their fucking can. They wouldn't give us a mug. And, if I had a mug, and that's another good point. If you had a mug of the Goose or the Temperance,
Would you?
would you go back and what would you go get a second mug of?
Gun to my head, I would probably go Goose.
After
I
today.
wouldn't really want either. Another mug of either. Can I have a 312 instead?
So we say this is Group B, right? Or are we saying that the Goose Oktoberfest is in Group A?
It's this Group B kind of thing,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
Like, okay, so then we'll go.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
We'll go pseudo macro. Then with Rev.
The #1 independent brewery in Illinois.
Right.
If you read the copy that they sent out.
Okay.
This is German style lager Oktoberfest from Revolution.
They kind of had a. It's not too dark and it's not too light. It's like this very in between, like very bright color compared to some of the other ones.
This is the one where they
don't
were
call it a Marzen, but it's still pretty ambery.
fucking Americans, man. They just roll with Oktoberfest, and it could be either one, right? I mean, it was just kind of weird.
We don't care.
They're right. They should call it out, but they don't care.
Sergio said this earlier before pre-show. He's like, technically on Oktoberfest, they're German style or Marzen style, right? Because you're like,
Yeah, so in Germany, if you're gonna call your beer an Oktoberfest beer, it's supposed to be just from the 6 breweries in Munich, and if it's outside of that, it's supposed to be an Oktoberfest style.
Lowenbrau, Paulaner,
Hofbrau.
Spaten.
Spaten, and Hofbrau. Oh shit, we got 4.
Yeah,
I couldn't name all 6. Is one
What's the
Ayinger.
Ayinger?
Ayinger?
I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
But yeah, AY.
Is St.
Ooh, what's our
Augustine?
6th one?
Oh,
What?
Is St. Augustine? I'm guessing St. Augustine. I don't know if that,
could be. Right?
but I don't know. I don't even know if that's a fucking German brewery. It just came up.
No, I think that's a Belgian brewery.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it's St.
I don't
Augustine.
know.
No.
Oh, but there are 6.
Damn.
Yeah.
We got 5.
Yeah.
But I feel like we.
But technically, all these should say Oktoberfest style beer.
Just like
a lot of them say Marzen style.
And we're in America too. We don't have to abide by these German beer laws. We do what we want.
because cognac is unless it's made in the cognac region, you can't call it cognac.
Or champagne or.
Same thing for champagne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Belgian style ale. You can't call it a saison. You're not supposed to.
We go tons of American breweries call
The
them
Rev,
saisons.
the Rev one feels it's good and it feels the most un-Oktoberfest of them all. It's almost like adjacent to it.
I get I don't know, some kind of fruit. In this.
Like it just feels like an amber lager.
It's the most Vienna lager of the ones we've had.
Right? Like this could just be Dynamo. Or that's the copper lager.
Same.
Right?
Vienna lager, copper
I
lager.
don't feel like this is an October. It's like an in between. It's like a Fest beer and a Marzen blended. It's not bad.
Group B.
It's in Group B, maybe above Group Goose,
I don't know.
maybe right below Goose.
I don't know. I think it might be below Goose. I don't know. What do you think, Sergio?
I need to try it again. Try it again.
I do
Right?
love
There's
that-
something about it that just this is not an. If you were to pour this for me and tell me like what beer is this, I wouldn't think October.
Do you remember 2 years ago when we did our romp of Oktoberfest, and we went to Pilot Project, and the Pilot Project beers that we had were just so much different from everything we had that
We
day.
had Funky Town, which we were like.
We're just like,
Funky Town.
well, we're like, what's
love
going
it.
on here? What's going on here? This is reminiscent of that. Where it's like, this is so much different from everything we've had today.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that alone puts it into the B group. I would say I'm apathetic to where in the group. it
Yeah,
lands.
maybe. Okay, if Nick wants to go under Goose, that's fine. It exists, I think, on
At least,
a step outside to me. Like it's almost this Fest beer like line.
I think at least the Goose thing is like, okay, listen, I'm doing 40 miles an hour. I got my hands on both sides of the steering wheel. That's the Goose thing. But this Rev thing is kind of like, I don't know, I'm doing 40, I'm doing 60. I'm switching lanes with no
Okay,
turn
okay,
signal.
okay.
You know what I mean?
And it does say German style lager, right? So we don't know exactly what kind of malts they use to brew that. When they say Marzen, you expect a specific kind of malt in there. Fest beer, specific kind
I think
of
it is good if
mixture,
you're just
but
like if you want to drink a lot of them. That's a good beer to just exist. You could have throughout the season, throughout the winter, and not be upset about it.
It's a smooth, toasty Stein lifter for fall.
oh, it says so right on the can.
That's Nice marketing speak. All right, we'll do another big brewery, and we'll go out of state this time with Surly. We're
Right on.
often, only drinking Illinois beer here.
And what are they calling it? What is it? What are we drinking?
Oktoberfest.
Just Oktoberfest.
It's way lighter. It's more like the fest beer.
Right.
Which, to be fair, if they're not going to label it
Fucking
and it just says
Americans.
Oktoberfest, I would expect a fest beer.
This
That's what
My
they.
first-
Like you were just saying, in Germany, that's what it would be.
Yeah, right now that's what it is.
My first sip. This is what I think, and I haven't had it in a long time. Munsterfest tastes like. It's a Oktoberfest that's overly hopped.
They do like to do that. It's early.
Right. And it's not bad, but what is this on?
Well, it's not traditional, but it's nice. It's kind of hitting a spot.
They could call this a pilsner. They could call this
Oktoberfest. Has anyone thought of that?
I think there is
Right.
a Oktoberfest.
Yeah,
Somebody,
there's like a
somebody's-
million.
Somebody's doing Oktoberfest. If they said this was a winter pilsner, it would be the same as whatever's in this can.
I like it.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It is good. Yeah.
It's good. Good hops, but yeah, not traditional.
But is it? if
Not
you wanna-
traditional. I'm not mad at it. I like
Yeah.
it more than I like the Rev one.
I'm gonna go back to the Spiteful. This is like our mid of Group A, and see like where does that get moved into Group A? Just in like the enjoyability of Oktoberfest.
One of the founding principles. How does it make you feel?
It's, I would say good, but when I think about,
Great.
yeah, no, it makes me feel great.
A guy could flip a car.
But I'm thinking drinking multiple, half liters and liters of this at Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I want to be, I'm looking for these pretzels. I mean, you always are, but
Rather than the beer.
quicker.
Beer's
back
making
to
me thirsty, not the pretzels. But going back to the Spiteful now, it has a lot of the Surly one has a lot of the same feelings going on.
Man, I'm in on the fucking Surly. I like the Surly, man.
It's a good beer.
I like
Yeah,
it.
It's a good beer.
I think did you go back to the Spiteful here?
Not yet.
It's almost a hybrid because we really should try the double clutch fest beer.
Go back to
Maybe
the
just
Fester?
maybe just a splash. I'm just trying to see
Hear the ballot.
where it sits because it's more of a hybrid and it leans more towards this fest beer from
More fest beer.
from double clutch, right? No, that
Not the color.
yeah, double clutch is way lighter. Never mind. That's why I wanted to see it. 'Cause
That's
it,
more what a fest beer should look like.
Yeah. I think I could put it.
I would do this like weird jut out, right?
But I think it could.
Oh, you're
exist-
thinking higher.
I think it exists up here. Like I went back to the Spiteful. It had some of the same feelings. I'm gonna go back to this double clutch.
I do like the Surly.
It's up there, but
I need
it's
another pretzel, man.
different, right? It's kind of like
Okay.
We're going
Okay,
for
do you
fucking
need
dinner.
fest
I could stop. Okay, it's not as the double clutch is so much more Oktoberfest. Or you went fest beer.
Yeah,
but
I just
went,
tried
I
the
went
fest
double clutch Oktoberfest. I would almost do this.
You're going workforce, the top of the order,
And this guy,
workforce,
he was
double
out.
clutch,
Just outside, yeah.
and Oktoberfest.
Yeah. That's what I would kind of feel.
I like it.
I don't disagree.
It's
but
high.
I'm surprised
Number
that you're
3 is
putting it that high.
Right.
Because you seem to be the least into that surly when we first tasted it.
At first, but then I went back to the Spiteful and now the double clutch. Hold on, let me go back to this. So I feel like, yeah, this is what these BJCP people do. They're just going back and forth all the time, right?
How's she gonna know?
Super palates.
How's she
They all
gonna know?
have super
So I'm
palates.
gonna go spiteful.
I'm going to take a nap, and then I'm going to come back.
Okay, coming back to the Surly now, it doesn't taste as hoppy and sharp, bitter as it did going from the Rev one that was basically a Vienna lager.
Right.
Surly's good, man. I'm not mad at it at 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Let's put this. We just did like a great one, but let's go with this Riverlands one,
Okay.
which we know is from last year. So sorry, Siberia. Siberia.
Nah, Serbia.
Suspiria?
So I think we're gonna have to.
Jeremy Teal.
Yeah, we're gonna have to tread lightly with this one because although Metro does say on their can Best by 2024,
Okay.
so
January 2024, though.
oh, it did say January.
Yeah.
January. So
So not
Yeah.
like a whole year after it came out.
oh yeah, that's not right.
That's last year's.
Yeah,
Who was this? Riverlands last year.
Riverlands. That
This is more of a science project kind of thing.
yeah, I think we need to like.
6% too, one of the highest ABVs we've seen, right?
I don't think we can rank that more of a mention.
Doesn't smell right.
It was solid last year.
No, it was a surprise last year. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just tasting. It's really gonna mess up our palate here.
Man, that shit really fell apart.
Yeah.
A year old October, like.
I mean, but at they do that at Delilah's a lot.
2022, yeah, you're right.
They fucking have beers, and their tagline is, "Beer doesn't get old; it just changes." But they keep beers so you can just see what it does after a year. But yeah,
It sort of has like a little bit of funkiness to it, and it's kind of surprising.
it's
that,
just got these weird fucking highs and lows, and yeah, it's just weird, man.
All right, let's go with another.
It's
fest beer
funkier.
then,
It's got a little funk
so.
going
Yeah,
on.
I don't think we can even put it in here because it's a year old. I just.
Which
know,
you slap this thing as like lightly soured or something, and you're like, oh yeah, cool. But
Yeah.
as an Oktoberfest, no.
But you know what's fucked up is like it's a lager, and I don't know. I don't
It feels like it should last
just
for
on,
a year, like
just on style.
I didn't have it last year too, so I don't know. But
right, but like
Just on style, right? But you know, it's not a.
12 months in the can shouldn't be that big of a deal.
did you just keep it out in like the hot sun for a
Yeah.
year? Because
Yeah,
that
Brad, how'd you keep it?
how'd you
I
take care of that
kicked
thing?
it around,
Fair enough. What'd you pop? The
Noon Whistle Fest beer. So
oh, we have
let's-
another fest beer. Oh, these are the second fest beer we
This
have.
is our second Fest
Okay,
beer. So
you're a lager.
try to like reset
It's
before we
way-
get
it's
back
way
into the
darker
last
than-
two Oktoberfests.
Way darker than Double Clutch.
Yeah, it is.
More ambery,
Huh.
crisp, lightly toasty.
That's like a weird in between, and it kind of makes me mad. Like it almost has a Miller Lite, Coors Light, like
Not my favorite.
grain bill to it.
You said it was a Euro lager
Oh,
fest
so maybe
beer,
like a rice. Maybe there's like a riceness.
and then it's darker than the goddamn fest beer from Double Clutch.
Man, Noon Whistle really lets me down a lot of the time.
They are the most volatile of the fucking breweries that we have. Remember they did the gummies. Remember the gummies? A lot of hot burn, a lot of
Yeah.
cloudy.
But then that like light beer they have, great.
Oh yeah, you brought it.
That's great.
Can't think of the name of it, but
But they're a brewery that I like.
he called it out as a really good beer, and then fucking 3 days later, it won
Won
an
an
award.
award.
Won an award. And Brad was like, "I told you," and then he posted it, and I was like, "He's not wrong. He's not wrong. It was good."
Well, what beer was it?
It's like their light lager.
It was a light lager, and it won at World Beer Cup, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because JBF didn't win a JBF.
But Noon Whistle like fucks with you that way, where it's like, I'm scared to like buy stuff because it's either going to be the worst thing I had or the best thing I had.
When you consider how many breweries there are, it's tough to believe in Noon Whistle.
Yeah.
Even though they go really
They
high.
have 2 locations.
They have 2 locations. It can be really high. It can be really low. They're either going to hit a 3-run homer or they're going to strike out 5 times.
So they're the Sox for you. They are the Sox.
These are the Chicago White Sox of the Chicagoland breweries.
How big is their like brewing operation? Right? Like, is it
Well, Brad
I've never
mentioned
been in
they.
Naperville.
I haven't either. We only went to the one we got lost going to.
Lombard.
Lombard.
It's big. Like it's
Is it
a good
big?
size now.
I would if it were in the strip mall, I would say it's maybe like 3 or 4 of the strip mall
It's a Michaels
storefronts.
size.
Fair. Fair.
This is an amazing
Fair.
form of measurement you all just came up with. Yeah. It was in a strip mall. It's like 3 of the storefront. Yeah, but at Michael's. Yeah, that's 4 is a Michael's.
It's funny because I was at a Home Depot and they sent me to the Michaels, and I'm like, yeah, it's closer to Michael's than Home Depot. Yeah.
All right. So that's sizable, though.
I don't even know what the
operation
Naperville location.
I've never
is
been.
doing.
I've never been in Naperville.
Yeah.
So
So I'm almost mad at that beer.
they did the same thing with Black is Beautiful. They went out of their way to name beers after the Cubs and the Sox, and they call them the Gummies. And neither one of them were our jam. But then they win awards and shit. It's a very it's just a weird brewery. They go so high and so low.
Yeah, no,
Nobody else does it like that. Almost theatrically bad sometimes. It's like it's not just like they missed the mark. It's like no, they middle of the street.
Like, you should have dumped that beer or packaged it.
And then 6 months later, they do something that's just fucking brilliant. It's it's just strange.
It's just QA issues, they're not.
Okay, so that's the Euro lager thing. It must be rice. It's got to be rice, right?
I don't know. I'll go with rice. When in doubt, it's either Beechwood aged or it's rice.
They even put crisp on the thing. So
Yeah.
Okay, so Riverlands and our fest beers live outside. We're going Mexico Oktoberfest.
Ooh.
This is just for Sergio.
Thank you.
I thought you were from Minnesota. So confused.
Not from Minnesota. When I say
Mexisoto.
family, I mean
Mexisoto.
family I moved married into.
Second home, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Fair.
Second home.
Fair.
I don't have second home in Minnesota.
Oh, shit.
This is Oktoberfest from Cruz Blanca.
Right.
Oh, Brad's reaction. It's already tainting my...
Well, coming off of Noon Whistle, like, anything's great. Very, like...
Sergio, I try to stay down the middle of the lane, and Brad's like, no, I want dirt. Let's feel that dirt. Let's feel that, whatever that little, how the concrete starts, get wedges in it, grooves. Brad wants that. I want that feeling. I want to feel that. I'm like, no, Brad, stay on the road. He's like, no, I want to feel the edge.
Feel the rumble strips?
Yeah. Thank you. Fucking Brad, man.
That's where you are with the Cruz Blanca?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean, but yeah.
The Cruz Blanca, it shouldn't be as good for who Cruz Blanca is. Like, this shouldn't be a style. Like, although Jacob, what's his, right?
Sembrano. He was the pub brewmaster at Clybourne for a while.
Right.
And he left to go launch the Rick Bayless Brewery.
So our next episode is at the final Clybourne episode.
I was saying that this week. The last Goose Island Brewery interview for us ever is going to be Clybourne next week. Are we dialed in for that?
I think so.
Okay.
Wow, that's epic.
I'm excited about that.
We'll find out if AB owns these.
There's a rumor.
They'll let us in.
But yeah, so Cruz Blanca, he's a great brewer. So it's not surprising that this is good. And this is, I feel like this is pretty good.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's tasty. Das bueno.
All right, I'm going to go back to this Alarmist.
When you look at the color, it's one of those beers that blurs the lines. From a color standpoint, it's golden / pale in comparison to the other beers.
Means it's not a Marzen, closer to Fest beer.
Right, like I poured the Alarmist a little darker,
Hoppy.
Good mouthfeel, slight bitter hop, kind of creamy. Just enjoyable, man. Just an enjoyable fucking beer.
I think it's better than this Alarmist. So here, so I'm gonna go back to the Spiteful, which we're almost out of.
Apparently we like that one. Or I guess there's a lot of,
Coming back before, yeah.
And be honest with you,
forth in
man,
there.
the Spiteful one
It's closer to the color.
is a little cloudy too.
Oh, a little cloudy.
So if we just start getting into which one should move on, then you might go Cruz Blanca just because it's not cloudy. Right? That's your Cruz Blanca?
No, this is Alarmist, so it's definitely darker than Cruz Blanca, darker than Alarmist, or darker than Spiteful.
Is this a hazy Oktoberfest?
That's what I'm saying. Like, as much as I like this Spiteful, when you look at it, it's not looking like a Marzen. It says Marzen on the can. It don't look like a Marzen.
So was the Cruz Blanca? I think it was better than Oktoberfest. Was it better than Spiteful?
I mean, right now, for me, yes.
All we have,
But,
all we have is this moment. You know?
We're drank how many of these beers over the
Yeah.
past hour?
I think it exists under Surly. I think it's there. I think that's where it exists right now.
But it's interesting that two of our later beers, that Surly being pretty hoppy, and I think that Cruz Blanca also has a nice
All
little
right,
hop
then
profile
Let's
going
go
on
back
to
to
it.
this workforce. We've had a lot of these.
Okay, yeah, that's a good
Does it
idea.
still exist as the top? We have one more to the steel, which I think is probably going to be the top because of this little hat.
It has a hat. Yeah, it has a nice hat.
Oktoberfest looks like.
I am surprised by that Cruz Blanca though.
Right.
Just
I didn't think it would be as good as it is.
But
Yeah.
we joke all the time when they opened. They had 5
Beer de Gardes.
Beer de Gardes, Vienna lagers on tap. And we're like, well, what kind of joint is this? Why is there so many Beer de Gardes on?
This workforce is.
which I love beer de Gardes, first of all. But why does a Mexican-inspired brewery have 5 beer de Gardes?
These
These
are
are the questions we ask every week.
we are
And
also
no one answers us.
We're also trying to figure out why the fuck they got all
German
these Beer de Gardes
styles
on.
make more sense because of the German influence in Mexican brewing, but a beer de Garde? Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Workforce still makes me happy, and I feel like it still deserves where it sits.
Dude, that workforce,
That's a nice beer. That's a real nice
that
beer.
workforce is where it needs to be. It really is, man.
Huh. I need to drink more workforce, apparently.
Dude, if we're we talk every week about underrated breweries, and we always land on Sketchbook and Hopewell.
Yeah.
But I think we need to start adding workforce to that
Workforce
conversation.
and that, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, last one. The most southern of all these breweries.
Fucking Normal, Illinois. Hello.
Right. Which I had high hopes to go down to scratch for this wooden.
Oh, for the mug. We've been
Fine.
saying it for 2 years. Then, it's all fun and games until you got to go to drive to Ava, Illinois.
Yeah.
Which is how far?
Dude, like fucking 6 hours or some shit, right?
Ooh, that's like...
It's like all the way at the
That's
bottom.
a tip. That's a tip.
It's more south than St. Louis. If you were to do scratch and then go to like fuck, I'm trying to blank. Side Project
Oh, okay.
in St. Louis. You have to come back north to go to Side Project.
So-
That's how far south it is.
I don't want to turn us off before we drink this, but it smells like a home brew. Like it smells like if you were to do like a Mr. Beer kit, kind of like too sweet.
Have you, I mean, the hat, though.
Oh,
Have you
hat.
considered
okay,
the hat?
I gotta try it. It does not smell good. There is nothing there.
I didn't find the aroma as offensive as you seem to, but the taste is not great.
I would put this at whatever the
It's the bottom.
back of B is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last year, Metro was at the top with Alarmist over it, and now it's at the bottom with the steel under it. It's kind of surprising. You gotta go back to that, or you
No,
gotta...
no, I'm just saying, I don't, Metro makes great beer. We all know that.
I know,
They make
that's-
great in this style. Maybe something's going on with this batch, this can. I don't know.
I know.
But-
That's why we're ranking what we can drink, and this is what any other consumer would do.
Yeah,
We
fair
know
enough.
this is way better at the brewery. This is a great beer from Metro. Their Afterburner. Coffee Afterburner, not so good, but this one is very good. And so,
Yeah, fair.
yeah.
But yeah, this is below that, so.
Yeah, this just... I had high hopes, and it was the bottom. It
They
tastes
spent
like
all their money on the hat.
It tastes like a homebrew. It tastes like my first Marzen.
What Brad said.
Baby's first Marzen.
All right. Are we happy with this ranking?
Yeah, I just pulled up the Marzen definition from BJCP, and in a nutshell, dry, distinctive and complex maltiness, and then a moderate hop bitterness.
Okay.
That's what they
That's where you.
describe. So
All right, I think I'm pretty happy with our lineup here. I think this like A category and the B category, there is like this distinct line of this lager town that exists for some reason. That's kind of
They're the gatekeepers.
yeah.
man, the still's fucking me up right now. I'm gonna have another pretzel.
Dump it into the pretzel.
Yeah.
I'm definitely surprised by both the Surly and the Cruz Blanca being
I agree,
as high as
Yeah.
we put them.
especially because we had A group kind of set.
Yeah, I think Sketchbook, which we didn't have the can, exists in this A group probably somewhere around this spiteful alarmist spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty happy with this ranking. I wish we would have also grabbed Engrain this time, but totally forgot about it.
But it's cool because it gives us a chance to just kind of explore whatever we decide to go get,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And this is a good range. I think more than anything, when you look at last year's lineup and this year's lineup, there's range on both lineups. So even though it's not the exact same, I think this is a good lineup.
Yeah. All right. Anything else to add before we get out of here?
Beer's great.
Beer's great. Yeah. Chicago's or Illinois is making some great beer. You know, even Minnesota here. We have a lot of great options. You know, 6 Oktoberfest in Germany. We got 15 right here. So
Yeah.
we're doing something right. Cool. That's gonna do it. We'll be at Clybourne next week for the. Supposedly the pub is done at the end of this month, right?
Okay.
That's what he told us at 312 Block Party. So we'll find out. We'll report back. We'll get. Are we gonna ask about this rumor? We might ask about the rumor.
We're going to ask all the things.
Okay. Ask all the things.
All the things.
Let us know what you want to hear at ChicagoBeerPass.com. Take care.
Cheers.